What's going on, everybody? Casey got me cracking up over there, freaking being a terrible co-host, playing Supercard while we trying to do an Impact Wrestling review. I put the contact information up first, so you guys can go ahead and follow us now while the intro is playing, so you don't have to miss any of the show. But I'm just gonna tell you, I'm just gonna tell you, it's gonna be a great show. It's gonna be a great show. We're talking about TNA Impact Wrestling from the first show in August, the fourth day in August. It's gonna be exciting. But real quick, I'm gonna hit the intro, and we'll be right back.
I already know it. I know we about to shine because we already glowing. Get all the welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an Instant Classic. And yours. And we want to punch Jim Cornette in the face repeatedly until he bleeds because he's stupid. We'll see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
I am so glad that this man doesn't say the flippity dippy anymore. It is like the greatest thing ever. The worst part is though, I have to hear Justin say it when he gets mad at stuff. Now he just says it just when he gets mad at stuff. But anyway, TNA review. I'm excited. Took us a while to get it out because Casey wanted to be lazy last night and didn't want to do it. You know, I'm gonna blame him. I'm blaming him over there. Send all your hate mail to him. Don't send it to me. Well, my fault. Anyway, we talking about TNA Impact Wrestling. 8/4/2016. I'm gonna say the date like 800 times just so you know we're talking about this particular show. Okay. Overall, I don't know. I don't know how I felt about this show. I just felt like it didn't. It wasn't last week's show, obviously. So it just kind of felt like it just wasn't as good as last week. It didn't feel like there was enough star power, enough something. There wasn't enough like it factor. It's because Bobby Roode was on NXT. There wasn't enough it factor on this show for me really to be like really deeply into it. I don't know what it was. It was something about it. I just couldn't. I liked it, but I just couldn't get into it like usual. Any overall thoughts on the show before we jump into some of the parts?
It wasn't my fault. If you can name that WWE superstar, you get a cookie. I actually don't have cookies, so sorry, my bad. But anyway, you're right. It wasn't last week's show. It wasn't last year's show. Wasn't last month's show. It wasn't next week's show. It was this week's show. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't think it was horrible. It just there was something that it was lacking. I feel like part of it is the way they set up the Bound for Glory playoffs. It doesn't feel as big as it did last year with like the huge tournament. It's just it's way too short this year. It doesn't make me really care. Like I watched the match this year, this week, the finals, but it wasn't, it didn't really get me excited about it. And I think that was part of why this week was kind of like, eh.
Yeah, I agree. It was just there was something about it that was just weird. We started off with a little like face off. Did you catch the before the face off? Did you catch the I because you didn't see it like a couple weeks ago? Did you catch the little new Impact Wrestling graphic thing? It's nothing like too like flashy or anything. I just wondered if you
Just the logo?
if it yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you catch that? Okay, I was just wondering if you saw it.
I mean,
I don't know. They change it all the time though. Like they change the way they open the show all the time. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because we do it too. They change the way they open the show all the time. They do the whole, first they had the little like Billy Corgan song to start out with like highlights, and then they stop doing that. Sometimes they start with brawls. I guess it's kind of. I guess it just depends on how you want to start it, because you can't start every show the same way. Boring after a while to the people who watch it. Yeah, to the people who watch it every week. But anyway, let's jump into the first segment, which was what am I thinking here? First segment was the Mike Bennett and EC3 like a little face-off setup thing for the main event. I thought it was pretty cool to kind of build up the main event that really hasn't. It's been built up, but it hasn't like had like weeks to build up. Kind of like the World Title Series from last year did. It didn't have those weeks and weeks and weeks to build up. It was just kind of like 1 week and like, oh, we're here. Oh, so I mean, I thought the build up was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I like how they feed off of each other, Mike Bennett and EC3. Any thoughts on that? The first face off type thing.
I mean, we got my boy Mikey B and my boy EC Thrizzle. I'm gonna start that now, Mikey B and EC Thrizzle, because I'm hip and I'm not old. But you're right. There isn't like a huge build up to this. We haven't had the weeks and the weeks like we normally do. But I think they pulled it off really well. Just the way that they work together on mic skills with promos, and then they're both really good in the ring. I mean, unless you're rabid and you hate Mike Bennett, but I think he's pretty good. I personally like the guy, but yeah, I mean they've made it feel you were still excited for it. But then again, like I said, the playoffs kind of were just set up wrong. I feel like it should have been bigger, should have lasted longer. So that was a big kind of thing against it. But I definitely like the promo kind of reminding you, or segment, whatever, kind of reminding you that this match is coming up this week. Not that, Josh Matthews didn't tell you 800 times. So, I mean, I almost forgot. I did almost forget. And then he told me again. And I was like, oh, good looking out.
Alrighty, next. I think the next match we had, I don't have my normal notes because I was writing the article and I forgot to actually like copy it to a Word document. So the next match we had though was Eli Drake.
Yeah.
Going up against James Storm for the King of the Mountain Championship. Yeah. I enjoyed this match. I thought it was good. I like that. I actually like that Eli Drake won. That he lost for some reason. Like, I like that James Storm is the champion. He's never held that title. He can it gives Eli Drake something else to do now, kind of. The fact of life, obviously, you can put more emphasis on the fact of life. It's really, but I did like, I liked that James Storm won. I think it sets up a kind of a big fight feels they're trying to go for with the Lashley and James Storm thing. With Lashley trying to take every title ever. I think he's going to start like taking my replica belts soon. He's just going to start coming to my house and just taking my belts. And I'm going to be like, but my light heavyweight title though, I need that. But yeah, I like it. There's something about it. I think having James Storm and Lashley going at it for titles is just it's a good thing. And I know you hate Lashley, so you're gonna be like just like that. Like that's exact. Like it's gonna sound just like that. I know it. But any thoughts on Eli Drake losing his match against James Storm, or the whole build up of Lashley and James Storm?
I am upset. I think that Eli Drake should still be King of the Mountain. Or how would Matt Hardy say it? Mountain of the King. No, King of Mountain Rule. No, I don't know how he would say that. I don't know. He needs to win the title so he can say it some weird way.
Would he say like Imperial Ruler of the Mountains? He probably say something like
Supreme Mountain Overlord. I don't know, something. TNA, get on that. Get on that. I need to know. But I don't know. I liked Eli Drake as the King of the Mountain champion. I mean, even though they really didn't do much with the belt, it feels like since they, debuted the King of the Mountain title, it's been there, but they haven't really done anything with it. And I felt like, that might have changed with Eli Drake, and then obviously they didn't really do anything with that. His character is still doing really well. He's doing really well, but that title is just kind of continually being tossed around, and now they're going to try to throw it into the whole storyline with, Lashley trying to, collect all the titles, and it's still not going to help that title.
Is that a roll of tape around your hand?
That is. I can do what I want. I gotta get my tape, from my match tonight. I mean, that's how they do it, right? They just put the wrap around. That's it. Yeah. I mean, but then it keeps moving, and I don't know how do they do? I don't get it. And then okay, I get it. All I gotta do is like I gotta back up, like
your hand in keep that hand in one position. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, you just do this the whole match.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's not that I hate Lashley.
It is.
I would just rather, I would rather watch paint dry and listen to the grass grow than
Can you even hear the grass grow?
If you listen really, really closely, you can hear the grass grow. Yeah, I would rather do those two things than hear or see that man.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, bring your hate. Everybody, bring your hate. Bring it right here.
Right in there. All up in the face. Do it. In the moneymaker, as the Miz used to say.
In the mouth and up. I'm going to let that one go.
We're going to continue. We're going to get some knockouts action here. Before the knockouts match, actually, Allie, as annoying as she can be, she was like kind of annoying Maria when she was backstage with Gail Kim. So Maria got a little upset and decided to put her in a match with Gail Kim. It's kind of on her road to redemption. There's been a lot of road to redemptions recently. A lot. EC3 went on one. Gail Kim's going on one. I think I need to go on one. I think this podcast just needs to be on like a road to redemption. That's what it is. We ain't finished our road to redemption yet. That's what it is. But then we had Allie versus Gail Kim, but Maria comes out. Almost spoiled it for you. Sorry. Maria comes out, puts Sienna in the match. We get a handicap match. Sienna and Allie versus Gail Kim. Kind of Sienna versus Gail Kim, pretty much. I'm liking Sienna more and more. The more I see her, the more I like her. The more she's like growing on me as like this dominant force. It seems like she's gaining confidence. She seems natural with the title. I like her in the ring. I feel like she can do more than power stuff, in my opinion. She just seems like the type of wrestler that can do more than power stuff, but she seems to be limited to power stuff. But I definitely enjoyed the match. I thought the match was definitely good. I just didn't. I don't know. I don't know why they're doing this to my girl Allie. Why they gotta do this to her? We know she can wrestle. I think it's gonna be like a huge swerve at the end, right? like she's gonna be acting like she can't wrestle, and then like she's gonna be aligned with Sienna, and then she's just gonna kendo stick to the back, yeah, when her like annoying shrill, and then she's gonna be like, I could wrestle all along, and then she's gonna get a title shot, and then she's gonna win. It's gonna happen. Book it. But yeah, I enjoyed the match. I thought it was a good like handicap psychology type of a match where Gail Kim, the numbers game caught up with her, but Allie would come in and she would try to do things. And Gail Kim would just kind of like it would hurt, but Gail Kim was like, "This don't really hurt, though. Get off me." So Gail Kim would gain the advantage when Allie was in the ring, but then Allie might try to come in, real quick, but then she's like, "Let me get my one move in. Let me go tag Sienna." But I don't know. I enjoyed the match. I thought it was definitely it was an interesting match. I don't know. I don't understand the whole road to redemption thing because it hasn't been clearly defined. At all. It's kind of like we're gonna put you in matches until we feel like giving you a title shot, but eventually you're gonna get a title shot because that's how this works. I don't know though. It's kind of weird to me, but Gail Kim did end up defying the odds. John Cena defying the odds. She did it. Overcoming the odds. Sorry, I said it wrong. But any thoughts on Sienna and Allie versus Gail Kim?
I mean, you gotta know you can't beat Gail Cena. You can't do it. No, I actually like Gail Kim. So, but she is kind of like, you know, TNA's female John Cena. I'm just saying. She's always there. She always gets the title shot, even when it doesn't make sense, because TNA. But I, you know, before this match, I got really excited. I was like, our girl Allie gonna get a match? We're actually gonna see her wrestle? And then immediately I was disappointed because I was like, no, of course. Why would you let her wrestle? Why? You know, why would you sign her and then let her wrestle? That would be a complete, you know, that would be a stupid decision. The other thing that really got me is there's a lot of things that Josh Matthews said tonight that I was just like, or last night that I was like, oh God, just don't kill him in his sleep. But he's like, she has very little training in the ring and blah, blah, blah. She has very little experience. And I'm like, bro, a lot of these fans know her from the indies. Don't try that. Like, if it was somebody that like was, you know, maybe one of the guys from like the Cruiserweight Classic that we don't know as well, you could possibly get that, you know, get away with that. But she's fairly well known in the indies. You know, you can't, no, stop it. Stop it, Joshua Cole Matthews. He's your dad. I know it. Michael, I'm saying it right now. Michael Cole is Josh Matthews' dad.
It's not his fault, man. He was trained under Michael Cole. It's not his fault. The only reason he has this job today is because basically he was trained under the WWE umbrella. But anyway, let's jump into some Brother Nero and Broken Matt stuff. We started off with a promo where basically Ruby came out and basically introduced Matt in some kind of glorious way. Then Matt comes out and he does weird things with his mouths and facial expressions and stuff. And then basically calls out Jeff Hardy. And basically he's going to tell him his new task. I thought it was hilarious. He keeps doing the whole Brother Nero, I knew you'd come. I don't know why I love that. I love it every time. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm going to have to start doing it. Like, I'm just going to see my mom coming up and be like, Brother Nero, mother. I knew you'd come. Like, I'm going to have to start doing it. But yeah, like, you know, I thought it was a great segment once again by brother Broken Matt Nero Hardy, whatever we're calling this man at this point. I don't know. The whole thing, the whole like gist of the segment was to basically keep Jeff Hardy off the top rope. He was like, you basically, it's kind of, I like this because he's telling the truth to a certain degree. He's talking about how the fans have always liked him, and he called him basically like a glorified spot monkey. It was like, basically, you know, you just jump around and you do a bunch of cool spots and yeah, good, yay, Jeff, and I'm always in your shadow. So you can't do that tonight. I thought this was a handicap match. He ends up putting him in a match, which I thought was a handicap match, but I guess it was a tag team match. Because he said specifically, you're going to have to do this alone so we can regain our tag titles. Because like he's got to regain the tag titles alone? Or, wait, what? I was a little confused on that, but he ends up being put in a match with JT Dunn and Chuck Taylor. Such a generic name, Chuck Taylor. Really? Anyway.
Bro, you know Chuck Taylor? Tell me you don't know Chuck Taylor.
I do know Chuck Taylor. That's why I was saying it was a generic name. Like we already know who this man is. But anyway.
Chuck Taylor. Yeah.
But anyway, thoughts on the promo before we jump into the match?
First of all, Rebby, we love you. We do. But don't try to do the accent and say words the way that Matt says words. It does no. She tried to say, I forgot exactly what she tried to say, but she tried to say it like Matt, and I'm like, no, stop it. But I like the I like this segment. I think I counted Matt's accent changing like 6 times. Like it went from like a British accent to like a South African accent to something that I couldn't understand, and I love it though. But yeah, I was kind of confused with the match too, because he's like, you have to do it on your own for the tag team title. So, and I think they did say it was a handicap match, and then Matt tags in, and then So like TNA can just do whatever they want, and we're gonna be like, okay, sure, yeah. Nobody paid attention to before. We're just gonna change it halfway through. Yeah, nobody's gonna catch on. I was like, bro, you just said it was a how. I don't know, but it was cool seeing Chuck Taylor. And I don't know the other guy, but I know Chuck Taylor. And I was excited, you know, because I had heard he got signed a while back. So I was waiting for him to debut. And you know, we didn't see Pepper Parks tonight, so that was always good. Because the man charges $5. You know, Chuck Taylor wouldn't do that because he's a man of the people.
How'd you even get back to Pepper Parks? Like, I could have saw it from Allie. This is like a John Cena at this point. Like, it just comes up randomly. Like we be talking about football, and you know, John Cena, he's real bad. But anyway, this match, I thought it was pretty good. I guess it did what it was supposed to do to a certain degree. I did like that it got some young guys some experience. I've never seen them before personally, but I haven't. I'm sorry. I haven't seen them before personally. You've only seen one of them. Don't act like you knew like both of them in and out. Like you met both of them and they didn't charge you $5.
And they wouldn't.
I thought this was it was a pretty good match. It was basically Jeff getting numbers gamed throughout the entire match, I guess. They should add this team to the tag team division. They should do it. It was basically Jeff just getting like the numbers game type thing. He would kind of fight back. He decided to go to the top turnbuckle.
So it was just a Jeff Hardy match in general.
Yeah, pretty much. He would go to the top turnbuckle, and then Matt Hardy tried to step in. No, you cannot do this, brother Nero, or whatever he said to him. And then Jeff Hardy does it anyway. I think then Matt just basically just throws him out of the ring and takes the pin. Matt Hardy also a bit of fan during this match because
that confused me. I was like, they're not going to do anything with that? Like, that? What? Why?
He just been a fan! Did you hear Josh Matthews? He was so upset. He just been a fan! He was so mad.
Just randomly biting a fan in the middle of the didn't make any sense for the match. Didn't add anything to the match. Just
I think that fan also like either contracted rabies or died. Cause like by the way he sold the bite, one of the two happened. I don't know which one to say, but anyway, not bad to me. Good stuff. We had the Tribunal versus Grado and Mahabali Shera. My only issue with this is it's not really like progressing any. Like it's there 1 week and then there's a random attack that like a year later, and then it comes back, and I don't like that. I don't know what it is. There's no progression here. I don't like Grado and Mahabali Shera as much as I like them both individually. Together, they're just too much of a joke to me, and I can't do it. I don't know what it is. I can't take these joke tag teams anymore. They messed up the freaking social outcast in WWE, so I can't with this joking. We want to be serious, but we're still a joke type thing. I don't know what it is. I just don't like it. Like it's kind of like they're trying to be the New Day, but can't. Like like I don't. It's a weird weird dynamic between Grado and Shera. I don't like it. I like them as a team, but they got to be taken seriously to me. In some form or fashion, do something with them. Give them belts if nothing else, because even the bromans weren't taken seriously until they got belts. So give them belts or something.
They're taken seriously.
Yeah, well, I mean, but like at least they can kind of win a match. Whereas with Grado and Mahabali Shera, you're like, they won. Wait, what? But
Why?
I don't know. The match was pretty good. It was a 3-on-2 match because they're still going with this whole Grado can't afford to Tyrus. Whatever they're doing there, I don't know. I'm gonna skip that. But it was a 3-on-2 match with Al Snow involved. It was a pretty good match. It wasn't bad. Obviously, the numbers game was still a big thing here. This this show felt very handicap match heavy to me. Maybe that's why I didn't like it. It was just weird that there were so many handicap matches in this show, because even the Jeff Hardy match was kind of a handicap match. It was just so weird there were so many handicap matches in this show. But yeah, I thought this match was pretty good. When Shera came in and did his whole hot tag type thing, hits the basically reverses Al Snow's brass knuckle shot. William Regal owed there. And Shera hits him with a sky high for the win. I love that Shera does a sky high still. I still like that move. It's weird. I don't know if you find it weird, but I think it's weird that Shera does the sky high and Moose does the sky high. Although Moose does it from the corner, they both still do it. I don't care what anyone says, they both still do it. Moose did it from the corner at the beginning of the show with EC3. Now it may not be if it's not like a feature signature, whatever the video games call it. If it's not one of his main moves, I can understand it, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, but I do like the sky high. We need D'Lo Brown back. I think it's confirmed. D'Lo Brown's coming back. They're just not telling us yet. All these sky highs going on. But any thoughts on the Tribunal versus Grado and Mahabali Shera before we get to Rosemary being weird? Any thoughts?
I didn't really like the match not because it was a bad match, or not because I don't like the Tribunal or don't like Mahabali Shera and Grado. It's just kind of like you said, it's not going anywhere. And it feels like, they were trying to save up money to beat the Tribunal and, get the fixer or whatever. Can coming. That's it. He's the cleaner. The cleaner's coming. We got the cleaner, we got the fixer, we got I can't think of another one. I was gonna make a trio there: the fixer, the cleaner, and the breaker. But I don't know. But it's like, okay, they've had the match. Unless they're gonna continue this feud and somehow get money to get the fixer, where are you going with this? What are you doing with this? I don't get it. There's so many other things you could do with these guys. I feel like,
And do they really need the fixer now? They just won. Not only did they win, but they won a 3-on-2 match, and they didn't win via roll up or any shenanigans or anything. It was basically straight up. Yeah.
And then what's the Tribunal gonna do now? Is Al Snow still going to wrestle with them, or is he just now going to be their manager? I am so confused. What's going on?
He's just going to stay outside the ring and blow the whistle. Let's be honest, guys. Yeah. He's just there to annoy us. Let's be honest. But anyway, oh goodness. We got the Rosemary thing, which I actually liked. I did. I know I'm making it seem like I didn't like it. I like it. But I'm confused still. A lot of it, what I didn't like, there was really no build from last week until the end. The rest of it was the same thing from last week. And then right here at the end, when they actually started showing, I think this is right before the main event, if I'm not mistaken. It was interesting because there was still trust and everything with Bram and Rosemary. And then Bram was like, "You should just get over it, Mitt." However he felt. I don't have a good English accent. "You should just get over it, Mitt." I'm gonna stick with it. And Rosemary basically just is not happy about that at all. She grabs a machete from where? I'm still confused on where she got it from and why it was just there. She grabs a machete You know, I don't have even a machete prop or anything close to it. She grabs him. No. Anyway, she grabs a machete and she's going after Bram. And then out of nowhere, RKO, out of nowhere, freaking crazy Steve, bam, gets the neck of of Bram. And I'm just like, what? They were here all along? They trusted her all along? They still love each other? I'm so confused. And then they take Bram to like the woods or something. At least somewhere where there were like a couple of trees or something. It might have been freaking Rosemary's front yard or something. I don't know. This is all kinds of weird, but I like it. I don't know where it's going, which kind of, makes me think, where is this going? Huh. I wonder. But, I'm just confused. I'm just very confused. That's all. That's the only thing. And I like that they kind of made it like the decay was going to split up, but then they didn't split them up. I'm more so happy that they didn't split them up, I guess. I don't know. Thoughts on this? If I keep talking about this, I'm going to continue to be more confused. So thoughts?
I know exactly what's going on. Because there's one thing you need to remember. There's always room for one more. That's exactly what I thought when they put him in the back of the car. And I was like, didn't they do this exact same thing?
I think Abyss he brought that to the decay. He was in the revolution. So Abyss, when he joined the decay, he was like, guys, there's always room for one more. And I am beautiful. He had to make sure he let them know.
That's like, as soon as I saw them do that, I was like, they are doing this again. They are doing the same thing. They're gonna brainwash him. They're gonna, oh god. But yeah, I'm definitely intrigued with it now. They kind of pulled a swerve on us a little bit. I'm excited to see where they go with this, what they do with it. I'm still confused with that love story with Rosemary and like what I don't, was that just filler? Like, is that gonna come back? Like, I
was like, I feel like it was one of those things where she was like using him, like she was like using him to like get him to join the decay or something. I don't
know. No, this is a love story, and I need to know.
The rest of the actual love story. Yeah.
I don't know. Bruh, like,
I don't.
She was a good girl, and then he touched her leg, and she was like, ah, and then she made his blood black, and I was like, whoa, that this escalated quickly. He just be touching your leg, and you making his blood black, and I'm like, girl, you need to calm down. Just just break up with him. That's it. That's all. You don't need to be doing all that.
Get over it, mate.
Yeah, just get over it, mate.
Anyway, I hope you guys have a better English accent than I do, because mine's really bad. Anyway,
the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast for good accents, because you're not gonna get it. You're just not.
I mean, unless it's Mahabali Shera. My Mahabali Shera is pretty spot on. I like to dance. Anyway,
it's really not.
It's pretty spot on, Casey. It's pretty spot on. Let's jump into the main event. EC3 versus Mike Bennett. It's the finals of Bound for Glory playoffs. Part was, I knew who was going to win this before it even happened, because I gotta stop looking at Wikipedia. I told you guys last week that I went to Wikipedia to see when Bound for Glory was, I think, and it was like main event, Bobby Lashley versus EC3. This was like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, bruh. I was just so upset. I was so mad. I was like, no. Not that EC3 won the thing, but I was actually surprised. I expected Mike Bennett to like cheat his way to it in some form or fashion. But anyway, this was definitely it was a good match, but I don't think it was as good as they've had. There was a lot of like psychology from like the attack from earlier by Moose on the ribs, the ribble, the abdominal. There we go. Shut up. The abdominal area of EC3, with like abdominal stretches and different stretches. Goodness, I can't even. Anyway, abdominal stretches, abdominal, whatever, abdominal stretches, submissions, everything. Different like attack strikes and stuff. I like the psychology with the rib action. But even some shenanigans by Mike Bennett with the whole using Maria to get leverage and stuff like that, using the ropes to get leverage. But this match was pretty good. I definitely enjoyed it. EC3 ends up winning with the 1% after they kind of reverse each other's finishers, which is kind of a staple of TNA main events now. Reverse like 8 of each other's finishers, and then you hit your finisher and you win, which I like. I'm not mad. Any thoughts on the main event of the evening? EC3 going on to face maybe Bobby Lashley. It said Bobby Lashley, but this was before, because next week's live, so this was before the whole Lashley versus Storm title Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe redo thing. Any thoughts on this?
A small, mildly disorderly crowd or huddle. That's apparently what a ribble is. It has nothing to do with the that's according to Urban Dictionary. I had to look. I needed to know what a ribble was. But I liked the match. It was okay. I was surprised that EC3 won. I kind of wanted to see Mike Bennett win just to see, to get him to that, main event sort of. Because I feel like since he's debuted, he's gotten really close to the main event or really close. And then, he gets torn away again. And it's like, just give him the title. I want to see what he does with it. And, obviously, I would like to see EC3 win the title again, but I don't think he needs to win it this soon. It hasn't been that long since he lost the title. It's been a while, but it hasn't been that long, really, if you think about it. I would like to see Mike Bennett, win it, from the immortal Lashley. Punk.
It's the Destroyer. It's the Destroyer.
He's just a punk. That's what he is. Yeah, I'll say it to his face. I'll say it to. I live in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we can set this up though. We can. I mean, we can set this up like at y'all's house, and we can record it. I think we can do it.
Bring it. I'm not entirely afraid of him. Let's go.
All right. Alrighty, that was your TNA Impact Wrestling review for 8/4/2016. After looking back at it, I did, it wasn't bad. I just wasn't last week. And this man makes the joke about, yes, it wasn't last week. I'm gonna be mad, but it just wasn't as good as last week to me.
Right, it wasn't last week. It was this.
but next week is live, so that's gonna be fun. Next week's a live show for the James Storm versus Lashley stuff and all that other stuff that's going down. Please,
yeah.
I never want to see that 70 show commercial on a live TNA show ever again. So don't show them ever, Pop. I appreciate it. But other than that, that's about all I got. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitter at ICW_podcast. That's about all I got for you. That's about it. Comment if you like the show. If you don't like the show, comment and tell us you don't like the show. Don't like TNA. What's wrong with you? Tell us why you don't like TNA. Tell us you confused.
That was adjusted.
Because I don't watch it. So, anyway.
So it obviously sucks.
Anyway, that's about it. If you haven't already, check out my articles on dailyddt.com. Did some cool ones. Did a Bray Wyatt one, I think. Did a TNA one.
Trash.
That's about it.
Yeah, trash.
Anyway, hating. Why you always hate? Anyway, we'll see you guys later. Peace.
Dippity dip.